So, for the guys that don't know, my name's Karen Williams. I'm a fashion stylist and I have been in the industry, well, the same amount of time as Jasmine really. So, I mean, if you look at this picture up here, these are blurry because they were Polaroids, which is what we used to work on back in the day. We'd take Polaroids and, you know, when we liked our shot, we would then go on to film. So this was Destiny's Child. So I worked it out, I think it's exactly 20 years ago. I think it was, so what are we, 2018? Yeah, it was about 20 years ago, this shot. So that's me in the middle there with the original lineup and Beyonce. And that is me now. So that was on my show. I do a show, so I do a show called 100% Hotter. And it's on Channel 5, so we do a celebrity show. A little bit pantomime, as I said before. I mean, to be honest, the people that come into the hot spot do need a bit of help. So even though it is a bit of a laugh, we do usually get some tears at the same time, because even though fashion is fun and it's fluffy, I think you'll probably agree with me, what people look like really affects the way people perceive them, and it affects the way you live your life, really. When I grew up in Hackney until I was 12. And my mum, I'm a daughter of immigrants. Dad's from Haiti, mum's from Ireland. And then I moved to Chigwell. Always decided I wanted to work in fashion. That was kind of the way. I think I did a BTEC first in art or something, and you know, I was never really that academic. Bright, but not academic. You know, you can still be successful if you're not academic. There's avenues for everyone. And I was told to go into fashion. And I always remember just, you know, when I got to, I don't know, 16, 17, I did my work experience at a teen magazine, and I was like, oh my God, this is where I want to be. You know, when you just get that feeling and you're like, this is it for me. Fashion's where you want to be. So you've thrown yourself in the lines then, really, because I've got no money, because I grew up with just me and my mum. My dad wasn't around. You know, I've got high expectations, and I'm in Marie Claire magazine with everyone. You know, back in the day, I'd say, you know, things are changing now. You've only got to look at Vogue magazine and see how diverse it is now. But, you know, back in the day, there was no one that looked like me, and no one that came from a working class background, single parent working class background. So that was a lot. And I would go in and I'd work really, really hard, and I'd think to myself, you know, how am I ever going to get recognised in this industry when these people are just a million miles away from me? Like, how is this going to happen? You don't have to be like everybody else, but you have to do you, and you have to do you with a degree of confidence. Otherwise, forget it. Because in the media now, where it's as fierce as ever, I think it was fierce then because there wasn't so many opportunities, and I think then, you know, you didn't have, you know, the Instagram, you didn't have a platform. Whereas now you guys have got a platform, and as Jasmine was saying before, that, you know, you've got to use your platforms. I'm not fantastic at using my platforms, I've got to be honest, but to be fair, I've done my time. And, you know, back in the day, Jasmine, if we had Instagram and all these things then, if we had it then, we'd be off the Richter scale, wouldn't we? It's so upsetting. So you've got lots of people like me and Jasmine that actually, I've got, 7,500 take these opportunities that you've got now, and you've got to think, how am I going to make a difference? I'm not here to give you an image. I'm not here to style you and make you the next fashion icon, but I just want to give you some real practical advice for when you go into your masterclass, or when you go into your interviews and, you know, your work placements. A peplum, so we're talking what, like a high-waisted skirt, and a peplum,
and then like a simple like
comes out at the bottom, or
no, very, very not like a big ruffle, like just small.
And that's for journalism.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can say that.
All right, so you picked up this jacket.
For this, I would have done like a maybe some like what you're wearing, like this.
Okay. You know, for some people it's nature, but for other people it's not, and you might just need reminding. So we can email them. But yeah, I would say for you, we're going to go on a list for do's. But I would say this probably, the do's. Yeah, I would say probably something like this we'll probably stay away from.
Karen, can you quickly put on the yellow jacket so we can see what
on me.
Oh.
Yeah, because I feel like it would work for body.
I haven't. Yeah, you're right. Actually, well, I'd probably wear a white top underneath.
Yeah, I was
A white vest. Guys, really? So embarrassing. So embarrassing. This wasn't in the plan. Throw me right off. Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Yes.
What do we think?
Yeah, it looks
I always like to roll
Yeah, roll
roll
it.
You
up
are
sleeve.
yeah.
Just makes me just feel
Yeah, I really
short.
feel it works.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
those definitely
I
work.
can't be thinking I haven't got a mirror or anything, so I don't know.
Yo.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you were wrong to pick this up, but I just think with the fact that you're quite confused about everything and the jobs that you might want to go for, and you know, I think you definitely need to keep it simple and keep it classic.
Yeah.
And that means, and classic doesn't always have to mean boring. You know, classic just means timeless. Just means it doesn't really go out of fashion, you know? It's just simple. And because you are a bit curvier up top, I would definitely say stay away from shirts that are going to bust open. You want to go for something like, I mean, something like this would be more appropriate. Then a little jacket over the top, even a baggy, like a vest like that, so you don't have to have the sleeves underneath the jacket, because I quite like to have no
Is this
sleeves under a
inappropriate?
jacket.
Like if I had a blazer, obviously they're not going to see it.
I would say, just remember my rules, if I can see down it, if I can see up it, if I can see through it. And actually I think I've slightly broken one of my own rules today, because I think it has slightly see through my
I
top.
feel
But it's,
I
I'm
like
alright.
to, like this.
Yeah, but no one,
No,
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 yeah,
no.
but,
They're
At
gonna
the front or like there. I just don't know. It looks like.
No, you do. What?
yeah, but
Finish.
it looks French.
Yeah, because like they
Yeah, but no one's going to
No.
be seeing the back
Yeah.
of your top.
I know.
And I think to wear just that top to an interview,
No, I wouldn't
so
wear
they
this.
can see the back
No,
of
I
your
wouldn't
top.
wear this. I would never wear
You
this.
wouldn't wear, yeah. I mean, listen, that top is perfectly acceptable on an ordinary day.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't
On an
wear
ordinary
this,
day. And I would
Because it's
even
that.
say, once you've got your job, you could wear that. I probably wouldn't put it with the skirt.
Yeah.